Hi, September the 2nd, 2023, and it's nearly a year since I last did a video of the garden, so it is high time to do another one. So this area was going to be my kitchen garden, but it was an epic fail because I ignored one of the big permaculture principles, is to check for sunlight and wind and positioning, and this got very little sun over winter and nothing really grew. So I'm slowly going to put it into more of a food forest area. I've got, and that's a volunteer avocado, I've got banana, I've got a quince, and then down there further I've got a Louisa plum, and I've just had a fish pond put in made from a half mussel buoy, and I've got a little solar pump, so I'm just waiting to get some fish. And I've got garlic planted in areas all over the garden, so hopefully this year I'm going to get some garlic instead of it all getting the rust and dying. And the bees are starting to get a bit active now that we're getting some warmer weather, so it's just a little colony, so it should be doing all right. And the chooks have started laying again, which is very good news. And beyond that citrus tree and beyond the chook house was where there was a big pittosporum, and I cut it down, and I can't believe the light that's come into the garden now, and that lemonade tree now can spread its wings and get to a decent size instead of just growing a 180-degree radius because of the shade. And on the pergola here, on each post, there's a grape that hopefully will burst into life soon. I'm just walking around. Under that chair there's a tree that I've grown from seed, and it's a grape tree. Jabotica. So I've had it under there just so that it's been a bit more protected from the elements, and I put a whole lot of bricks around it as a thermal mass as well, so that when it did get cold it hopefully won't have been damaged, and it seems to be doing very well. And we walk through here, and that was a banana pup that I planted last year, and look at the size of it and how many banana pups are around it. It's just doing so well. And this is my poor mountain pawpaw that's been hammered in all the wet weather, and it's got a bit of a rotten bottom, so I'm not holding a lot of hope that that's going to survive. But there is a lot of roots that are coming right out along here, so whether that's going to be enough to hold it in the ground, I don't know. We'll wait and see. And here's another volunteer avocado, and I've grafted this from one of my grafted trees that I purchased. And the elderberries are all bursting into leaf everywhere, so hopefully this year I'll get some elderberry flowers, because last year I lost the whole lot in Cyclone Gabriel. It wiped all my fruit out. I got no apples, no pears, I got nothing. So this year it can't be worse. This is a little kawakawa tree that I got from my daughters as a tiny little seedling, a couple of inches high, and suddenly the two of them that I've got's taken off. And another banana pup. Apple trees. I've got annual beds dotted all around. This is an old umbrella that I've converted into be a bean trellis, so I've put a rope on each spoke of that. And then just going back here, this is the trellis that I've just made for some runner beans to go up, so that's going to be good. And then I've got my mulberry tree here, which is starting to show signs of life. So I've cut all the hedge back, because in Gabriel we lost so many branches and big hunks of trees, and that's why there's big gaps now. So I've ended up pruning a whole lot down, and they'll all shoot away again. In this corner there was a big Australian Frangipani tree, and it never did anything, never flowered. It was just a big waste of space. So I chopped it down, and I brought in some whole lot of compost in, and I've planted some brassicas and some chard, and potatoes are all in the back. There's about 7 potato plants there. And this is my Juneberry, or Canadian service berry. This is a magnificent berry on this tree, and it's starting to burst into life. They have berries that look very similar to a blueberry, and they're just delicious. So now that I've cut the hedges back, I think it's going to do a lot better. And Some more annuals around here. And I've got a lovely bunch of bananas up here that aren't too far away from harvesting, so they're going to be delicious. I want to be totally self-sufficient with bananas and never have to buy another store-bought one. There's another one here. Another apple tree. And a fig tree. And that's a apricot tree through there. But it didn't have any blossom last year, so maybe this year. Beautiful rosemary. And then this is another little bean trellis that goes up and over. And also it's got grapes going too. Alyssum and my other flowers to attract the pollinating insects. And I planted some organic kiwi fruit seeds a couple of years ago it would have been, and I've got about 5 plants in, and most of them are like this, but one of them grew absolutely vigorously. I'm following it up, and it's lost all its leaves, and I'm hoping that this one is a male, because I need a male, and it's very different from the other ones that have still got leaves on because we haven't had the cold weather really. So that's going to be an exciting thing to watch this space. And this is my messier area of the garden at the moment. I'm just starting to work on this. It's a compost bin there, loquat, another bunch of banana trees, and it looks like this one up here is going to have flowers coming, because that little leaf, that's called a flag leaf, and they produce that leaf when they're about to produce a bunch of bananas. Very different from the big leaves, so that does look positive. And then down here is another little area. I've just planted some potatoes, and I've got comfrey liquid manure already in bottles tucked away for when it needs feeding. And I've got 2 IBC tanks with rainwater down there, and some native trees and bee flowers with the trees with the flowers, I should say, for the bees. And then over on the deck I've just planted quite a few water chestnuts. So I think I've got 4 tubs, so that's going to be exciting to get some of them to harvest. So that is the garden, nearly a year on since my last video. I honestly don't know where the time goes. So it's a beautiful spring day, sunshine, bit of wind, but there is rain due, but not dangerous wind, I'm led to believe, so that's got to be good. Right, I will say goodbye until the next video. Bye.